are in Thailand. We're far to the east of the Cambodian border. We're right in the Gulf of Thailand. We're headed towards Koh Chang National Park. The island of Koh Chang is directly behind me. We're going to spend a few days in Koh Chang, and then we're going to go further south to one of the bigger islands that's even beyond this, called Koh Kood. Spend a few days there in Koh Kood and see whatever we can find there. So hopefully we can find some adventure. When we're all done, we're going to head back to Koh Chang, and then we're going to go back to the mainland, and we're going to do a little bit of exploration on the mainland, very close to the Cambodian border, inland just a little bit, and you know, we just never know what we're going to find on these trips, so we're looking for a good time. It's a rainy season, so hopefully the weather cooperates. We do have some sporadic sun, a little bit of rain so far, but we'll see what the next couple of weeks holds. So stay tuned, it should be really exciting. So one of my favorite parts about coming to Thailand is getting some of this food, this local food. You know, when a lot of tourists are staying at the resorts, and you know, they're a little bit apprehensive to venture out and find some of the local food. So they're kind of stuck, and they stay right there in the hotel, and they pay very, very high prices for so-so food. But anyway, this place was recommended to us, and so we ventured out and found it. It's kind of hidden away. It's a little bit hard to find, but we did find it. And so here, you know, this is just absolutely delicious food. This is mu nam top. It almost has like a Mexican food taste to it. It's pork and just a whole bunch of different spices, and it's warm. It's a warm dish. And then this is papaya salad. This is green raw papaya shredded, and there's some beans in there, some tomatoes, peanuts, various spices, some lime juice, and that. And then, you know, over here, just a standard chicken, you know, just a roasted chicken. So this is really good. We ate here yesterday, and we'll probably be eating here, you know, for the next couple of days. But this is the way to do it. We've got all this food here. This is plenty of food for two people, less than $10. This is how you do it. But this is authentic taste. It's really, really good stuff. So I'm really hungry. So I'm getting ready to get down right now. So today's adventure, we have some friends, and their aunt lives right here along this street. And so we came out here. This is basically where the livable lowland area stops, and it becomes very mountainous here. But it's been raining, there's a lot of water coming through here, so we're going to just basically trek through the water. We're just going to head down that direction. The houses will disappear at some point, and it will just become just natural jungle. Wherever there's water, it's always a good place to check the overhangs and whatnot for animals. So just check this out. It looks really beautiful, really interesting. Weather's pretty good, so we're going to do it. So I am really liking what I'm seeing. We just walked a couple hundred yards. We had to make a decision, do we go to the right or to the left? If we went to the right, we would have gone back towards people. So we decided to make a left turn and go towards the mountain. And this is looking really good. Beautiful, nice shallow water. We're just going to trek all the way back and see how far we can go. I can see the mountain up there through the top, but it's getting really pristine. Nobody goes back here and does this stuff, I guarantee it. So this is going to be really cool. I'm excited. We found a good spot. Yes! It's a little guy, I don't want to hurt him. Come on, bud. I had to pull this branch down to where I could reach him. I just saw him I don't know how I saw him really, but he was cruising through. There we go. Yeah! Check that out. This is a baby vine snake. Now the cool thing about these, when they're when they are just young babies, oftentimes they're like a tan, a gray, a gold color. And then, you know, some of them obviously turn green, like a green vine snake that are pretty common. But, you know, here in Thailand and also down into Malaysia, there are some bigger animals that actually end up retaining that gray and tan coloration, gold coloration into adulthood. I don't know what this is. This one seems like it's got a little bit of size. It may be turning green. It's hard to say. Now these snakes are lizard eaters primarily. Some of them will eat fish, but you know, there's both here. There's fish and obviously lizards up in the trees, but they're rear-fanged, and sometimes the adults can be a little bit defensive, but this one definitely is pretty mellow. The really interesting thing about these guys is their pupils kind of remind me of like a goat pupil, where the pupil runs horizontal. And also, I don't know if you can get if I can get him to look over here. The eyes are positioned in a way where they can actually converge and judge distance. They're really good at what they do. They're super cryptic, and that tongue is really cool. It doesn't normally flick. It is forked and all, but the tongue, they just stick it straight out and they hold it straight. And that's just part of what they do. They're unbelievable ambush predators. And you know, if they were to flick that tongue, lizards and other prey items would be able to distinguish that animal as it kind of cruises slowly through the trees. There it goes right there. And actually, when they move like that, it does two things. It mimics the wind blowing, so that if the leaves and branches are kind of moving, he's moving too. He's really tough to make out. And also, when they move back and forth, they're able to converge and judge distance the way that their eyes are positioned. It's a really interesting animal. All right, that is so lucky. I'm checking all these overhanging trees and whatnot, and I'm looking for reticulated pythons and bigger stuff. I really didn't have my eyes trained for something this small, but I will now for the rest of this trek. All right, bud. Once again, the insect life is just absolutely amazing. Look at this caterpillar, you guys. It's crazy. Look at that sucker. Now he's obviously out of place. If he was up on whatever plant or tree that he'd normally feed on, you wouldn't be able to see it at all. But because he's out of place on that rock, it really stood out. But man, that is something else. I have no idea what that is going to morph into, but so this time of year in Thailand, springtime, it's rainy season. It can be very hot. The sea also can be very rough. It's pretty rough right now today, actually. But there are a benefit to coming out here at this time of year, and one of them is the fruit selection is fantastic. Now, a lot of times when we come out to Thailand, the opposite time of the year, maybe one fruit will be available, but a couple others won't be. But this time of year, it seems like just about everything is available. So I'm going to give you guys kind of a breakdown on some of the different fruit that you don't see so often. A lot of people ask me, you know, what about the fruit? And they know mangoes and bananas and all the normal stuff that you see imported in, you know, the U.S. market. But you don't see these so much. This is rambutan. What this is just kind of a fuzzy little fruit on the outside. You pop that thing open. It's a nice juicy deal inside there, and the big seed in the middle, very juicy, very good. Very, very tasty. Something else, the lychee. Now these guys, this is a fresh crop that's very juicy. You can see this stuff squirting out as I'm opening it here. That's a sign of freshness. Same kind of thing. The seed inside, seed in the middle. Very, very good. To me, it kind of reminds me of a flavor that you would get like in a wine or a liqueur. It's very good, very sweet, very, very tasty. Something else is a mangkut or mangosteen. Now these guys, these will stain your fingers. They're very red and pulpy inside, but inside there's always half a dozen or so of these white fruits right here. Some have seeds inside, some don't. I usually just pop the whole thing in my mouth. So good. Kind of a tangy, sweet flavor. Very different from any other fruit. All these have a very unique flavor. The mangoes are very good. We've had some. It's a fresh crop. Very, very sweet. Unbelievably sweet. The rest of the stuff you've kind of probably seen before, but the fruit is good. So good. Wish I could get this stuff in the back in the States. Can't. So I usually just save up my cravings, and then when I get here is time to get down with the fruit, man. I really, really like it. So anyway, this is just a breakdown of Thailand Fruit 101, I guess you could say. All right. So today's our final day on the island. We're off the beaten path here. As you can tell, it's kind of bumpy. We turned off the asphalt. We're in four-wheel drive. We're going to get kind of down into this a little bit deeper. Then we're going to jump out of the vehicle, obviously, and get out on foot. So this is pretty interesting right here. We're definitely in the right spot. This is a shed here. It's covered in ants. This is very, very fresh. It's still wet. The ants have discovered it. The head is complete. It's very tough to identify with skin. I'm not sure what that is. Can't see much of a pattern on the skin. Cobras are very common in this area. Pattayas, rat snakes also, I'm sure. But it is very, very fresh. So we're in the right spot. Cool.